Okay, so welcome to Living with doTERRA, and this is our Monday product training, and I'm going to be co-presenting with Karen Lee Moskowitz, my partner, she's actually an expert aromatherapist and an expert with doTERRA and the use of their essential oils and products. My name is Kara Blattman-Rock. I'm the founder of doTERRA in Israel and living in New Mexico, building this beautiful community here and in Colorado. And of course, supporting the ongoing education of living with doTERRA throughout the world. And today's talk, we're talking about, it seems to be an area of interest that's coming up for me a lot, is how to use the essential oils when it comes to emotional support. And we've done videos on this, and there's plenty of videos that you can watch at my YouTube channel. But this is specifically about certain emotions that come up during this time. The pandemic is now on its year anniversary for Israel and pretty much the world globally. And we as a people, but I'm mostly focusing on women and our roles at being at home, being moms, taking care of our home, taking care of our children, taking care of our husbands and partners, taking care of ourselves, working from home, cleaning, just all the stuff that we do as women and mothers and partners and business owners, and those feelings that come up for all of us, and how we can change those into the more desired feeling or the opposite feeling. And so what we're going to focus on, because there's many emotions, but the focus today is, let me just bring up the Zoom, is frustration and turning it into more frustration and irritability. I think those two go hand in hand, and turning it into patience and being able to handle what's coming into our lives. Anger into ease and feeling that we can move through life with breath and ease and not feeling angry. Overwhelm is the other emotion that I think a lot of us are feeling right now, feeling overwhelmed, how we can move that into calm and peacefulness. And then low energy, depression, it could be looked at, or sadness, or low energy and lack of motivation, and turning that into energetic, positive, motivated in our current situation and our current lives. So Karen and I are going to share what we do, the remedies that we use. Mostly we're going to focus on essential oils and doTERRA products, but we can also focus on maybe some mindset remedies or some meditation, yoga, the different remedies that we use to help us do that. And we are absolutely welcoming people to unmute themselves if they have solutions that they feel have been really helpful for them, because we're not by any means saying we're the 100% the authority in this matter. And I know a lot of you on this call have background and experience, so we welcome your guidance as well. So let me, I want to just introduce you to Karen, and you can, if you have any insight first before we go into the oils of are these the feelings that you're feeling during this time?
Definitely. I think that for me, when I examine myself as a person, adjustment was also always something which characterized me through all the years. And I try to see myself from the outside and to see how did I manage during this time. And I think I was able to adjust. But definitely there were situations that I felt that, okay, what is going on? What is the next step? When will it end? Trying to maintain, like, being a wife, being a mother, keeping my doTERRA business going on. And definitely the oils were there for me. Also music, which I love, dancing, laughing. But the oils were there for me in a way which I cannot describe. I want to add something very important before we will begin, which is relevant to all the topics which we'll talk today, that the use of the oils needs to come from inside. Because if it's something that we will tell you should use the oils, but you will not feel it, or you will not feel the amazing ability of the oils to influence you, so you will not use them for a long time. Maybe you will try one time or twice, but if you will do it because someone else told you, like all the other things in life, it will not maintain for a long time. So I think that the desire for things to change, or to be able to see things maybe in a more positive way, should come from the inside, and then the oils will have a better effect and much greater effect compared to just, I need to do it. So don't do it because you need to do it, just do it because you want to do it and because you understand how much the oils can help you.
Yeah, I agree. Like one of the reasons why I have had such a, like, I, throughout my life, I have tried many things, and I used to think that I had a personality of not sticking to things, like I would not be consistent or I wouldn't stick to things. Now, hindsight 2020, I realized that I didn't stick to things that didn't really work for me, and things that do work for me, and you feel the benefits and you feel the effects, stayed in my life. So the essential oils, I've been using them for 12 plus years. Every day use them, and my whole family uses them. And why have I stuck with this over the other things that I've let go? Well, I really truly feel that the essential oils get you in touch with that inside feeling that Karen's talking about, that intuition, that biofeedback. It can even be measured. It's called biofeedback. So when you're using something and the body gives you this positive reaction to it, then it gives you that motivation to keep using it. So
Okay.
yeah, sorry, my son's in here whispering to me at 12:30. Yeah, yes, you do. And he's crawling out, so we don't even see him. There's a ghost in the room, and he's crawling behind the bed. And if you watch carefully, you'll see the door close. Oh, there he is. So that's what I love about the essential oils over all the plant remedies that I've used in the past, is that they do give you a real quick understanding of this is working or this isn't working. And so it's your intuition, that's that intuitive knowledge that's in your cellular blueprint that's saying, oh, this is working for lowering my frustration or impatience, or it's not working. And the beauty about essential oils is, okay, it's not working because that's not the right oil for you. And so today, Karen and I are going to give some recommendations for a specific emotion and how to take it to that other spectrum, like from turning frustration into patience and ease. And I'm mostly gonna give recommendations for single oils today. I've been one to always rely on the blends because doTERRA has such amazing blends, but I thought I'm gonna just focus on single oils today, and we'll see what Karen's coming up with. But I'm going to give a few suggestions. And the book, I tell you guys this, I'm going to the bookstore today and going to get different books, but today I'm using Ayurveda and Aromatherapy, the book that I use for almost everything because I love it. And this specifically has the emotions that we're going to be talking about and what oils to use in order to get you that other desired emotion that you're looking for. So let's jump into it. And I'm going to have you go first, Karen, but the emotion that we'll talk about first that we said was turning frustration and irritability into patience and ease.
Okay. So the first one, which I want to mention, is one of my favorite, which is Neroli. So I also have suggestion also for blends, but the main single oils. So Neroli, it's one of my favorite. And I really like to combine it together with jasmine, frankincense, rose, because it's an oil which specifically it's aiming to feelings of frustration, discouragement, hopelessness, and it brings up emotions like kindness, patience. It warms the heart, and I think that, if I'm not mistaken, it's called the oils of emotion.
Mhm.
Um, and the combination specifically for me, I really like. It can be jasmine and neroli, or frankincense and neroli, or rose and neroli. Like, I don't want to combine all of them together. So this is one of them, and I really feel that it like give me some balance and grounding and the ability to wait for um, to see what is the reason um, behind everything which is happening, and to have patience to look to wait for this reason, not to okay no, I want to know now, like now I need to know now. No, eventually I will know what was the reason for all of this, and eventually I will see what is not the lemonade but the limoncello which was out of this.
Right.
So it's even higher. It's not only lemonade, it's like much higher. It's a very tasteful limoncello.
Yeah.
Neroli, patchouli, which is also very, very grounding, and it has like balancing effect. Patchouli specifically, I like to use it when I'm looking for more like patience, in the back of the neck to put one drop, or in the temples area. Can also combine it with other oils, but sometimes I just like to, like to have the smell of the single oils. Which else? Lavender, of course, frankincense, Roman chamomile, which will also meet in this oil in other topics that we'll talk today. Um, Regarding the blends, adaptive, of course, it's I think in the top of the list,
Mhm.
because I think that sometimes we need to adapt to a certain situation, and by adapting to it, we have patience.
Mhm.
Balance, definitely. I don't know where I would have been now,
Yeah.
today, without having balance blend in my life. Using it in the diffuser, putting a drop in my hands and just like inhaling it from my hands before going to sleep, rubbing it on my feet, waking up in the morning, like just surrounding myself with balance.
And
With
the neroli, because I just looked it up in my other
Mhm.
favorite book, if you don't mind me chiming in, the
Of course.
emotions and essential oils. So neroli said it's specifically good for adaptation. So adapting to these new situations, or situations that feel out of our control.
Hmm.
So perfect when you're frustrated and irritable. What's really the characteristic that you need is adapting and
Exactly.
breathing, moving through it with ease. So like I forgot, I don't use neroli, and then I open it up and I'm just like, why am I not using this? This is so amazing. And neroli it's the orange. It's from
The
the
flowers.
the flower of the orange
Yes,
tree. Hmm.
exactly. So it's amazing
So
because we have three different oils from the same tree. We have from the fruit and from the leaves and from the flowers. So it's amazing that one tree can give us three different oils with completely different aroma.
yeah. And like, so out of the oils that you mentioned for moving from frustration, irritability, which is also anger, that emotion can fall in there, to patience, ease, adaptation, out of the oils, like I was already kind of thinking of a blend for myself, but Is there a specific blend that you put together with these oils that you mentioned?
So with Neroli, we cannot make a blend because it's like it comes in the roller.
Right.
But if I would have had the blend, or I can just like first put it in my hand, and then I can add some oils. So then I would combine, if to make a blend, so it will be Neroli, jasmine, and frankincense, or patchouli, frankincense, and ylang ylang. We didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right now
we
I
didn't
just
got
put
ylang ylang, but
neroli, jasmine, and patchouli.
it's amazing.
It's
It's so
amazing.
feminine. It's so,
Right.
even without looking for more patience in our life, it's just amazing to have this kind of smell on us.
Right. And then like one little tip for the people that are watching is like when I finish a roller bottle, I save them. And like now I think I'm going to do this blend that Karen and I are talking about. You take off the top and I'll put patchouli. It's hard to work with the roller oils like jasmine and neroli. They do have those little like droppers or the titrators, you know, that you can then just take the top off, suck some jasmine out. And so I think I'm going to make the effort of combining
You're talking about this one? Like the...
No, not the funnel. It looks like a little dropper.
Like yes, I forgot how to say it in English.
Yeah.
Taftefet, yes, thank you.
Yes, exactly. Taftefet, yeah, Hannah says.
Taftefet.
Because like making a blend of like those three sound divine, and I know they will help me with my frustration. And let me just and this is what Karen and I are going to do back and forth with these emotions. So the book that I like to do, Ayurveda and aromatherapy, is irritability, frustration, anger comes from the Ayurvedic dosha called Pitta, and Pitta is fire. So usually when you have, we all have fire in us naturally, but some of us have more than others. And so that heat, that natural characteristic of yourself, that heat, it also makes you goal-oriented, a go-getter, getting things done. Those are the positive attributes, but it can also make you feel irritable and anger and frustrated more easily. That's a characteristic that I'm just telling you about myself, that I tend towards this frustration and anger and irritability very easily in the day. And the oils is specifically for that type, that pitta type, that extra fire person, is neroli, patchouli, jasmine, lavender, frankincense. So all these oils that Karen mentioned for these emotions is intuitively what the body needs to bring down those emotions. And so I love that when you're like, maybe the oils, like which comes first, your intuition or the intuition of the oils, and then it elevates your intuition, you know? So I love that there's a teacher in every oil. And
sometimes you just choose an oil, we don't know why. It's like the intuition, but it's like, it's something which makes me so happy that I will choose an oil or a blend, and I know it's the right oil for me, and I will just trust my feeling, and it's amazing, and it's without knowing what is the reason, but I know that my heart know what is the reason. I will just listen to it.
Right. So the last oils that we'll just re-emphasize, and Karen mentioned them, but specifically for irritability or frustration, is rose, ylang-ylang, chamomile, lavender, frankincense. Any of those combined would be amazing. But I love the heavy, like the more like the patchouli and the jasmine and the neroli. Like patchouli is more of a base oil, so you're gonna smell it all day long if you chose that one. The other kind of floral ones are gonna get absorbed into the bloodstream pretty quickly, so you will feel it from a physiological standpoint, but you may not smell it for very long. So it's good to, you know, probably reapply it a couple times. So so I just have to make a note that I am making a roller of patchouli, jasmine, neroli. We'll see if anything else gets thrown in there. So the next emotion that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to let you go first because I love going after you've said all these amazing things, is, I mean, anger into ease. We kind of addressed
yes, we
that
also
with the
talked about, yes.
frustration and irritability.
I think I will add to the list from the blends, I will add Citrus Bliss. I want to share here, it's a story that I share, I think every time that I will mention this blend, that it was sometimes during this last year, and I was sitting in the living room and the diffuser was next to me, and I used Citrus Bliss. I put like 2 or 3 drops. And then I was watching TV, and I had a feeling that suddenly, like, I was smiling, and I was trying to understand what in the room made me smile, because it was not the TV show that I was watching. And I felt like a flow of happiness coming suddenly into my body, and I was looking around and I was looking for the reason. I was home alone and I didn't see what was the reason. I just continued watching this TV show. And then again, and it like, I kept thinking about it. What is going on here? What is this amazing feeling that suddenly was taking over? And then I saw the diffuser and I said, like, how didn't you understand that it was a citrus bliss and it was amazing, it was there? And I told myself, you like, from all the people, you don't know that this amazing blend put a smile on your face? And it was amazing. And since then I took a vow that I will that I will tell this story every time.
Yeah.
So every time that there will be like a feeling of anger, and I just want to change this anger into ease, or into like try to think about the good things in my life, I will use Citrus Bliss. And if I don't haven't had Citrus Bliss, so definitely it will be orange.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yes.
And Hannah shared that cardamom, which I don't use much of cardamom, is great for anger, which my book also says that as well. And then Shani shared that Citrus Bliss is amazing. It's her 5 p.m. oil. That's such a good idea. Like, put it in the diffuser at 5 p.m. when it's like time to multitask to the millionth by cooking and homework still, kids, and, you know, everything.
I need to have a diffuser which will start by itself, like not 5 but 6.
And put the oil in, and put the water.
Yes, just like with nice like music, and just music and oil that will start automatically. Yes. And also about anger, so ylang ylang, which we mentioned, it is considered an antidepressant and can be incredibly powerful in managing anger. So I make a lot of like blends like for body massage, including ylang ylang, because it has like the floral scent and it's very romantic, and it's calming, like for the body and for emotionally. For people here who don't know ylang ylang, I just want to add that it's very important not to, because it's very, very, very powerful, and the oil will make the other oils in the blend even more stronger. So when you're using ylang ylang, don't put an equal a number of drops like the other oils, but you can put like even half of it. So if other oils, for example, they have like, I don't know, 5, 6 drop each, ylang ylang can be 1 or even 2. So it doesn't have to be the same amount. Omen Chamomile, also mentioned this oil before, but it's also have very, very calming effect on the nerve system and digestive system, that sometimes when you are angry, so we can feel all of this like emotions stuck inside our, like, the abdomen area. So we need to have something which will be calming to the heart and also to the stomach. So Omen Chamomile is also good for this, and it will slowly bring calm and relaxation to us.
Right, amazing. So that's anger, which is a little bit similar to obviously similar to irritability and frustration. And in this book, anger is talking. They mention cardamom, coriander. I could see how coriander and cardamom are kind of similar. I don't really play around with those too much. Chamomile, of course, rose, and then the ones that we've already mentioned, ylang ylang, lavender, frankincense, are really good for anger. So like right now in the diffuser, not that I'm feeling angry, but I did put frankincense, lavender, chamomile, and patchouli, and I'm loving
Amazing.
yeah, it's really nice. And the patchouli I love because it's like, it's so strong and grounding. So the next, and then I'm just reading the chat because I feel like that's how you guys are contributing. So yeah, geranium, Shani said. And I loved how Hannah Frazen said one of her remedies, which we could all learn from, is while she's making dinner, she has club soda with a drop of citrus bliss in it. So she's drinking that.
Amazing.
Yeah, instead of like instead of shots of whiskey, she's having club soda.
I'm adding to my soda green mandarin. Whoever, if you like green mandarin and you love soda, you will fall in love with this combination.
I know Hannah loves that combination too, so I need to start doing that. I need to get a green mandarin. It got broken and I haven't replaced it.
Oi.
I know, I didn't have my bottle guard on it.
Sorry, I joined a bit late. What is the green mandarin good for?
No, specifically just said that it's good with soda, to drink it like it's one of the recommended oils to add to soda.
And it's good for, it's a citrus oil. So we've been talking about citrus oils is good for transforming anger into ease and positive mind and patience and letting go of irritability. So that would be, and we were saying having it in club soda while you're making dinner for your family, and that kind of time of evening where things are a bit hectic at 5 o'clock in the evening time after you've been home with your Zoom kids all day long already, and now it's
sounds good to me.
Yeah, making dinner for them. So the next emotion that we're going to go over, and we're recording the video for people that have got on late, so you can watch, because we already finished frustration and irritability, and now we finished anger, and transforming those. We're not focusing on the negative, transforming those into ease and patience and positive mind. And so then the next emotion that comes up specifically during this time of the pandemic is feeling overwhelmed or nervous. So Karen, what oils do you recommend for that? And we're wanting to feel calm and peaceful. Yeah.
Yes. So now I recommend about the combination of, it can be vetiver with a citrus oil, because the vetiver, we want it for balancing and grounding and like giving us this peace into our body and soul. But then we also want something which will make us a little bit happier and to be optimistic and to know that one day everything will be okay. So combination of vetiver and orange, or vetiver with lemon or lime, amazing. I really like to use lime inside in the diffuser, because it's like it's lighter than lemon, and it has like, right, it's like, I don't know, it's like it's sunshine of oil. I don't know how to describe lime.
Yeah. And that's what's in the Intune, which is that focus oil, is there's vetiver, sandalwood, lime in it.
Exactly. Yes. Which one also? Cedarwood. I like to use it especially before going to sleep, because I also feel it is very grounding. Balance, of course. Myrrh. It's also very one of the, like, if you're looking for something which will like give us peace and quiet, we should use the oils which are very like thick. And every time we're talking about like how long it takes until one drop comes out of this bottle. So it's like working on our patience. And if we have patience, we have also peace and calm and quiet in our life.
Yeah.
So the combination of these oils, we can also add patchouli, but it's also very strong and also very slow until it comes out.
Yeah.
But
And the vetiver as well. Right?
Wow, the vetiver. One time, like because of the oils, were like it was like
hard
it
to
was
get the
so
cap
hard
off.
to open.
Right.
Yes, so hard. Yes. And let's see what else I wrote. Rose also I mentioned here, and also Roman Chamomile. That also,
Right.
and Ylang Ylang again. Like they are definitely.
There's like, yeah, certain oils that kind of repeat themselves in emotional support. So again, in this book, in this Ayurvedic book, like Karen is so in touch with her intuitive power here, because I accidentally muted you, Karen, so you gotta unmute yourself. So the oils for fearful anxiousness, so the quality of fearfulness and anxiousness and being overwhelmed is what's the dosha type called vata, where vata is like wind and air and space, and it's your nervous system specifically. So that's why your nervous system is this wind, air, movement type of system. And it can get really out of balance during the spring, which we're coming into, where there's more wind and change in season. And it also gets really out of balance when you're out of routine or there's like constant changes, which is this pandemic time. Like we're out of routine, we're unsure what's going on, we don't know what the next step is, like, you know, when the kids go to school, when they get pulled back, when they go back to school, just this really uncertain time. And so the oils that this book and that Ayurveda recommends is exactly what Karen said: cedarwood, vetiver, bergamot, sandalwood, ylang ylang, orange, geranium. So all these oils that are a combination of grounding but uplifting for the mind and the positive state. So I remember there was a time that I was feeling, usually upon the birth of my next baby, like I had 4, every time I had a baby, so in love with those beginning stages, but then when I have to go back into the reality of taking care of my other kids and a baby, I get really anxious. And so around this time, I started doing the combination, because I love the blends, of citrus bliss with peace, the oil peace, which, you know, peace has vetiver and all those really thick oils that are super grounding, and by itself it can be pretty intense smelling, but with the citrus bliss, they were just such a great combination. I put 1 drop of each with a bunch of coconut oil and put that as my body lotion before I start my day. And I could smell it the whole day because of peace with those really heavy oils. And I always had people commenting on, what is that? What is it? What are you wearing that smells so good?
You smell like spa. How can you smell like spa being so busy?
Right, exactly. So that's an amazing combination for, and then all these oils that we talked about from moving from the feeling of overwhelmed, anxious, nervous, to the feeling of peace and calm and grounded. So those are just amazing oils for that. And then the last emotion that we're going to talk about is low energy, and that could be really associated with feeling sad or depressed, which is an emotion that's coming up for a lot of people during this pandemic, because we're socially isolated, we're out of routine, we feel overwhelmed with the amount of responsibility that we may have. And so some people sink into maybe not overwhelmed and nervous, but just shut down, sad, not motivated, to take care of themselves or do what they need to do to feel better. So what would be the oils or the remedies that people could bring in when they're having this feeling and they want to change it around to feeling positive and motivated and having the energy?
So here, definitely all the citrus family. So it can be, we can start with the citrus bliss. If anyone has also the blend citrus bloom, which is amazing, or all like the products. I wish that they will bring it to Europe already, but the body lotion and the deodorant, just to use these amazing products during the day. Grapefruit, orange, lemon, lime, of course, all of them. From blend wise, we can use elevation.
I love that one.
Yes, it's not an oil that it's not a blend that I'm using often, because for me it's too strong. But in certain situations when I need it, it's perfect. So this is what I love about the oils. It's like you said, like you don't use Neroli so much, but when you use it, wow, amazing. It's exactly what you need now. So this is what I feel about elevation. I think also here, compared to the other topics which you talked about, because when we feel like low energy or sad, each person should choose an oil specifically which he or she loves. Because here we need to connect to what makes us happy. And maybe now specifically I need peppermint because it will bring like energy and will make me happy, but someone else just like, for example, need only the orange to make, to calm the body and to put a smile on the face. For me, when I'm also like low energy and I need something like which will bring me energy and motivation, I will use also rosemary. I love the combination of rosemary and orange in the diffuser, especially when I'm working and I need to be like focused and focused with a smile. So then I will work like really happily because I will have the diffuser like working next to me, and the aroma of these two oils will be in the room, and it will be like it will just give me like a boost of energy. Sandalwood also, it's amazing. It's an oil that I didn't use so much before, like the corona started. And I feel that during this past year, I used it so much more compared to the previous 4 years with doTERRA. So for me, Sandalwood also was very helpful. It did something, it brought me to my center. And this is sometimes something that I need in order like to be motivated, to be in my center, to find my center, and that my head will not go like all the thoughts, and not to fall into like all of these thoughts, like negative thoughts or emotions which will not will not bring any use. So Sandalwood also amazing. Blends with, of course, from the emotional kit, we have the motivate and the cheer. I think that also here we can mention hope blend. We didn't talk about it, but it's one of the blends which definitely we can use throughout all topics. And if you don't know this blend, so it's an oil, it's a blend that definitely I recommend to know.
Right, and that's frankincense, bergamot,
Ylang ylang, lime, and osmanthus.
Oh, I was thinking of what was it?
Let's
Beautiful. See. Beautiful. Remember Beautiful, that blend?
Yes.
It's not so available.
Wow, beautiful, yes.
But hope is repeat what's in hope. It's ylang ylang.
Ylang ylang, lime. No, sorry, it's bergamot. Right, one second. Bergamot, sorry, bergamot, vanilla. Okay, I think I was also thinking about the beautiful. You're right, I was mistaken. So bergamot, vanilla. It's so small. I think it also has frankincense, and hope it has ylang ylang for sure, because of the character, like the the reason that they chose the ylang ylang inside was because of the original use of this blend.
Oh yeah,
So
here it is in
ylang ylang.
the emotions book. It's bergamot, ylang ylang, frankincense, and vanilla.
Yes. So the first blend which I mentioned was exactly, it was a beautiful. You're right. They should bring back beautiful.
They
Definitely.
should. They
Yes.
should. Right. So this is, I love that, the Hope blend. It's beautiful. And it has exactly those like combinations for releasing depression, sadness, heaviness, disinterested. So the Ayurvedic dosha is kapha, which is kind of more earthy quality that we all have. And some people have more of that earthy quality than others. So they have bigger bones, bigger body structure, and they can tend towards depression a little bit more easier than others. Like my emotion that I default to and go to more easily is because I'm a fire personality, is more anger, frustration, irritability. There are others that have more of that kapha earth personality, and they tend towards, in situations like the pandemic, tend towards depression or sadness. And the oils to take you into more of a balanced state of emotions is exactly bergamot, lemongrass, grapefruit, orange, petitgrain, which is kind of a citrusy smell as well, and then bringing in some of the flowers, jasmine, rose, ylang-ylang, Neroli, which is a combination of a flower and a citrus, right? Melissa. Melissa's also, Melissa's citrus, is it from, it's a citrus based, I think.
I think
No,
it's from the,
it's a plant, right?
Yes, it's from the plant, yes.
It's almost like, it's like a more expensive lemongrass, right? It's like the queen lemongrass, and lemongrass is like the peasant, you know, because it's like,
but the thing is, it's like, but the thing about oils, if we're talking for like about what you said now about like the more expensive, or like, it's amazing because I feel that like sometimes I will use a lemongrass, and it's like, how can this oil, which is far from being expensive, can, you know, it can change things like it can change black into white. Like, I don't know how to express it exactly in English, but it's like the smell of it, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
And this is what is amazing in oils, that you don't need to have the most expensive, the most rare oils, the most like oil that you should, like, definitely you can also use like lemon, lime, lavender, lemongrass, and amazing, and they will do so much good, and they will bring so much happiness to us, and amazing, like,
and very quick, and some of them very quickly as well.
Very
exactly.
I mean, so this is, you know, there's the 3 ways that you use essential oils, so we can just do a quick overview of that, and then we've used our time, but we'll open it up to like, you know, other people's suggestions for remedies. Is that you can use essential oils aromatically in a diffuser, or making a blend and smelling it and putting it on your body. Topically, you're typically using it, yes, it smells good, you're putting it as a body lotion. Oftentimes, like if you're treating like a specific muscle or skin or something that's going on, that's when you would apply it topically. And then internally, generally you're taking oils not for your emotional support, it's more for kind of internal digestive, internal organ support, immunity support. And so the best way to support emotional emotional changes, emotional support, emotional balance is smell. In the diffuser, or putting it straight on your hand and smelling it, rubbing it on your chest, the back of your neck, because and it can be scientifically looked at in the body, is that you have these receptor sites in your nose. They're these little like finger-like hairs in your nose that then receive those aroma molecules, and they directly stimulate the limbic brain. And so it's a direct connection to the brain. It doesn't have to go, there's so many other sensory systems, your eyes, your ears, your mouth. They have to go through a couple steps before they affect the central nervous system, the brain. And your nose, your sense of smell affects the brain immediately. It doesn't have to go through
22 seconds.
Yeah.
So fast.
Right. And it's especially, and this is specifically your emotional center. The limbic brain is memory and emotions and emotional center. It creates the neurotransmitters. It's part of what helps the body create the neurotransmitters for balancing out your emotions: serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, all those neurotransmitters connected to your emotions. So essential oils is one of, I think, the best plant medicine for emotional support and emotional health. And it's something that I am directly feeling and benefiting from, and something that I'm passing on to my children as like, this is what we use for our emotional support, and hopefully keep us in balance as best as we can with this with this support. So anything else you want to wrap it up with, and then we'll open it up for questions. Anything else you want to say, Karen?
That I think that people who still don't know oils, you can see it as a powerful tool that you can help yourself, because there are so many things which we are dependent on the help of other people, if it's physically or emotionally. But the oils can be for you a tool that you can assist yourself to support your body, to support your heart, to support your mind, your spirit. And it's amazing that you just need to want to do it. And then once you have the oils, you don't need to wait for anyone else to do it for you. So the ability to help ourselves, and the empowerment that it's coming out of it, it's an amazing feeling. So
amazing.
keep it in mind.
Yeah, so appropriate for today's Global International Women's Day, right? And women, I think in the past, women used to be a little bit criticized, not a little bit, a lot criticized for just being emotional and being more emotional beings, or being more free to express our emotions, and not always positive emotions. They could be negative emotions, sadness, grief, and just emotional, all the range of emotions. And here we are doing this talk on empowering yourself with these tools to feel your emotions. We're not saying like try to cover them up and not feel them. I mean, if you have sadness, overwhelm, fear, anger, frustration, those are strong, also emotions that you want to acknowledge and understand that you're having them for a reason. And then take this beautiful remedy and you choose a blend, make a blend, sit down and drop 1 to 4 oils in your hand and smell it and be creative. And use your app, or use your book, or use the WhatsApp groups, or message somebody and say, this is what I'm feeling. What oils do you think I should use? Or just know that there's a whole community of us that are using these same tools, and we're here to help you. But also, like Karen said, I think that the essential oils is such a tool of empowerment, because it's like, as soon as you open up a bottle, you'll know, like, yeah, this is one I should be using, or oh no, not this one today. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah. So feel empowered, women. I love women, and I love that we're emotional, and I love that we have essential oils to support those emotions, and to never feel limited in being able to express yourself. So
exactly.
Yeah, so amazing. Thank you everybody for being on. The last couple questions or comments that were on the chat that I like to share is, there was a question: what oil for strong anxiety and lack of self-confidence, for example? So we did earlier in the call, we did talk about overwhelmed, anxiety, nervousness, and the oils. Real quick, Karen, what did we kind of
We
say were
had
some of those oils?
Neroli, jasmine, frankincense, rose, patchouli, Roman chamomile, lavender, ylang ylang, which all of these oils can help. And blend-wise, we had balance, adaptive, citrus bliss.
And the key to like emotional
yes.
work, the key to emotional work is come up with the blend that really speaks to you out of those single oils. You can make it in your own little roller bottle or in some kind of spritz and use it frequently throughout the day. Because if you're saying strong anxiety or chronic anxiety or something that then, I mean, you can apply your essential oils, you know, in this form, a roller form diluted with coconut or a spritzer diluted with water and some kind of carrier witch oil. You can, you know, spritz yourself or apply it as often as every 30 minutes, every hour, to really work on that emotional support and that emotional anxiety.
Also, sometimes I forgot to add that if you know that there is a certain situation later in the day that can make you nervous, or it can has a bad influence, so you can use the oils in advance. So it's amazing because you don't need to wait until something will happen and then you will go and use this amazing tool. You can use the oils in advance and let them do their magic on you.
Right.
Yes.
And a little tip that I learned, and it was funny, this woman's like, how can you, doTERRA, founder of doTERRA Israel, she called me the queen of doTERRA, not already be doing this? Because she had her balance, which is a beautiful blend already that doTERRA's already made for us in this bottle. It's diluted with coconut oil, so it's already diluted. And she takes the top off and puts a spritzer in it, like a spray, like spritz. Yeah, she cuts the little, you know, because usually they're made with really long tubes, and so she cuts it to fit in here, and she just sprays herself with balance.
Amazing. And yes, also like perfume. I use balance as my perfume.
Right. And and she's just walking around with this little spray of balance, and that's her remedy. And that's brilliant, because like for me, I feel like consistency is so important, and ease, having just, you know, having it in your purse and spritzing it every time you feel out of balance. So just ease. Shani shared that she loves Serenity, another oil that you could put that little spritzer in and spray yourself and keep it in your purse or keep it on your desk or keep it near you so you can give yourself a little spritz.
Before going to sleep, it's amazing, like entering the room and it has the aroma of serenity.
Right. I had my second daughter, when she was littler, like at the age of 3, was just really demonstrated like not severe, but more strong anxiousness and anxiety and overwhelmed, where she would just like, you know, as adults, we don't throw fits and just start screaming and pulling our hair out, even though that may be what we feel like doing. But as a 3-year-old, she can do that, right? She's 3, she can do that. And even though it made the whole house feel uncomfortable, and I made a Serenity spritzer. Thank you, Shani. So like I did dilute it I made my own spritzer with water, witch hazel, or a little bit of rubbing alcohol, a few drops of the Serenity. And in the moment of these outbursts where she would just be out of control, I would spritz the top of her head. I felt like I was spraying a cat or something. And it would immediately stop her. I think there was a little bit of a shock value because I'm like spritzing her, but also she felt better with that, like one spritz of Serenity spray. So just imagine what that would do for us that are a little more controlled in our outward expression of when we want to throw a tantrum. And just spritzing ourselves with a blend that we make ourselves out of what we suggested, or using one of the beautiful blends that doTERRA already makes, Serenity, Balance, Citrus Bliss. Those are their mood oils. So amazing. And then last question, someone asked, what book am I referencing? So there's two books that I love and I use almost for everything, is Emotions and Essential Oils. This is a doTERRA supported book, so it's all specifically their oils. It's not made by doTERRA, but it's about doTERRA's oils. And you can get this at Aroma Tools. I don't know if there's any third-party places that you can get this yet. And then the other one, I got this on Book Depository, which you guys all know in Israel well, and it's called Ayurveda and Aromatherapy. And her name is Dr. Light Miller. And she's, I'm just, my background is Ayurveda, so I love this combination of Ayurveda and aromatherapy.